What is going on, y'all? Shit, fix this mic. What is going on, y'all? Give me 1 second. On Warren Cars, back again with another car buyer's guide. Today we are going to be doing the F80 M3. So this is going to be the generation after the E90X M3. This is going to be the first turbocharged M3, and a little bit in a step opposite of where they should have been, honestly. You know, technically speaking, on paper, this car is way more powerful than the outgoing V8. It just lacks the soul. However, the performance, it's there. You can't argue about that. So this car definitely performs way better than the outgoing version. However, the sound and the soul, that's up to you. So what I'm going to be doing today is going over the features, options, and problems for the F80 M3. I'm going to be going over the changes by model year, what options you should look for, and what were the prevalent issues that these cars had. Also telling you like what specifically each model year was better for. There are different model years that are good for different things. For example, for these cars specifically, they were made in, well, they were sold in the United States from 2015 to 2018. The real production years were like 2014 to 2019, but in the United States, they were offered for model years 2015 to 2018. The 2015 models are a little bit less refined than the later model years, the 2018 models. So different things like suspension, your torque curve, and also some other standard versus available options. As the years went on, more and more options became standard. So yeah, as I mentioned, features, options, and problems, then we're going to go over some ads so we can see some examples of what's out there on the market. But first, some quick announcements. Don't forget to join my Discord. So here's my Discord right here. As you can see, we got 3 members right now, and this is where I put the notes for the show. So right now I'm going to be posting the notes so you can see. Perfect. Cool. You can follow along now. Just join the Discord and click on that link. Sweet. So let's go over the features, options, and problems. As I mentioned before, this car was made really from 2014 to 2019. However, in the United States, they were only available for the 2015 to 2018 model year. Resize this. Perfect. All right, cool. Got a nice M3 right there. So starting over the features, I mentioned before for like the third time, 2015 to 2019, or 2018 is when they were available here in the country. 2015 is going to be the pre-LCI. So what does that mean? LCI is life cycle something, life cycle index. I don't know what the I stands for, but it basically means a facelift for BMW. This car actually is probably one of the only cars, one of the few models that actually had 2 LCIs. So there was a facelift and then there was a second facelift. This car has the straight 6 S55 3-liter turbo engine. So it's the S version, so the M version, the sporty version of the N55, which was found all the way back in the 335. The 335 originally came out with the N54 engine, which, though it was built better, as in it had forged internals in the earliest model years, towards the end of the model years of the N54, they started to replace some of the forged internals with standard parts. And then they upgraded that with a twin scroll for the N55. I believe the S55 is twin turbo, but the N55 is a twin scroll turbo. It's a little bit updated engine. So this is the sport version of the N55, as I mentioned, found in the 335 and the 340i. You can get a compact, or sorry, let me start here. So this should be 415 horsepower. Actually, no, this should be 435 horsepower. 415 was really the outgoing M3. So this should be 435 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque for the standard model. There is also the competition package, which has 450 horsepower and 406 pounds-feet of torque. And for the latest model years, there's also the CS, but we're not going to go over the CS simply because we're trying to look at the deals here, and the CS are going to be way overpriced. Those are going to be more collectible, obviously, in the future, but for what we're looking at today, we're going to be looking at the standard cars and the comp package cars. So this was the first generation of 3 Series, you can call them, where they split the 3 and the 4. So the 4 Series became its own car. So the M3 is strictly a 4-door car. This is in contrast to the E9 or the E46 M3, which only came in 2-door. Now they have the M4 and the M3. The M4 is a 2-door version of the M3. This car came in dual clutch transmission or a 6-speed manual. Both transmissions are really good. The dual clutch is a really stout and reliable transmission, and the 6-speed, it's typical BMW manual. It's not the best action and clutch feel, but it is BMW manual. That's how they always are. They're not the best feeling manuals, but they do the job. The throw is a little bit long. The clutch has that weird kink in it. It's not very linear. It gets really hard. It's like not progressive in terms of the spring, like the spring, the weight of it, if that makes sense. I think a good way to describe it is it takes a lot of force at the top and then it becomes easier as it goes down. So, and as I mentioned before, this is the successor to the V8 M3, the E90X M3. So in terms of options, let's go over some of the things you want to look for in terms of model years, and then some options that I think should be had no matter what model year you get. Obviously, some of the options are not available in some model years, and other years they are standard. So we'll go over that year by year in more detail after I go over this real quick. So 2015 in the United States is the pre-LCI. This is only going to be 1 year pre-LCI. So the main difference between the pre-LCI, the LCI1, and the LCI2 is the pre-LCI had the old taillights, which are straight lines, as well as the old headlights. The LCI had upgraded taillights, so the taillight design had a bit of a curve to it, but the headlights stayed the same. And then for 2018 to 2019, they upgraded the headlights and gave them a more DTM look, I guess. Before they didn't, you can tell the main difference with the LCI2 headlights because there is like a flat bar inside of the headlight housing. I will show you that on some of the brochures we're going to look at in a second. But before I get to that, we'll just finish reading through this. So for the pre-LCI, you have the driver's assistance package, executive package, and lighting package. I highly suggest you get all 3 of these. Most importantly, executive and lighting package. Let's see, I have it over here. So the executive package comes with a heated steering wheel, comfort access, the rear view camera, heated rear seats, retractable headlight washers, PDC, heads-up display, satellite radio, and you can get all the basically interior combinations with the executive package. You can get cloth and leather, so that's like the speed cloth. You can get extended leather and you can get full leather. It doesn't matter. The lighting package as well is something that you have to get on this car. Do not get an M4 or any M car with the cheap xenon lights. Obviously, this is only a problem for the pre-LCI and a little bit of the LCI1. You just want to make sure you get the full adaptive LED lights and the automatic with the automatic high beams and everything. You don't want to get xenon lights on a car like this. And most cars come with the lighting package, especially in the US. Very few cars will come completely no optioned. So you should be in luck. Just make sure that it has adaptive lights and they're LEDs. They should say LED on the light housing themselves, right in the top brow. Another package you can look for, but is not completely necessary, is the Driver's Assistance Plus package. It comes with active blind spot detection, active driving assistance, side and top view cameras, and the speed limit info. The side and top view cameras are what I would get the Driver's Assistance Plus package for. Those are really cool. They help a lot with parking and they add a lot to the value of the car. But if you really had to pick, I'd say get executive package and lighting packages. For the LCI, so 2016 to 2017, they added the competition package. The Driver's Assistance Plus, executive package, and lighting package all stayed the same. So 2016, they added the competition model like mid-model year. So very few 2016s you're going to find competition models. There are a few though, so you can't rule them out completely. Just know that there are very few 2016 competition package cars. And then for the LCI2, which was 2018, 2019, they had the competition package, the executive package, and that's it. So the the lighting package was actually included with the executive package for the latest model year cars. I highly suggest that you get an executive package car. It's going to come with everything that really makes an M car, or a BMW. Anything else is just a standard car. Some other options in terms of the interior that you want to look for. You want to see whether your car is standard leather, extended leather, or full leather. Full leather is going to have leather on the top of the doors as well as the underside of the dash. Extended leather is just on the armrest, and I believe on the top of the doors is extended leather. On the bottom of the doors is full leather. Whatever it is, I suggest you get full leather because it just looks so much nicer. Like when you see the stitching on the dash, on the top of the doors. Plus, if you don't get a full leather car, you're gonna have that weird bumpy rubbery BMW material on your dash and on the doors, and it's just cheap. It looks cheap, it feels cheap. Get a full leather car if you can. At least get extended leather, but standard leather cars should be avoided. Make sure the car is Harman Kardon sound. Easy. Some other things you want to look for. I believe this was a you can get this as an a la carte option, but on competition cars, I believe it came with them standard. So after 2016, you can get the adaptive M suspension, which is always something you should get. You can change the stiffness of the suspension, and it's pretty much a standard thing you should have on all M cars. You can also get carbon ceramic brakes. I don't really recommend getting carbon ceramic brakes if you drive the car as a daily. You're just gonna be wearing through expensive parts. And the carbon ceramic brakes also, they have a tendency to squeal. They're just not really good for driving on a daily basis. Also, they're like 8 or 9 grand. So if you want the carbon ceramic brakes, it'll add a good chunk of value to the car. However, it doesn't really add any practicality, and the performance enhancements are only really seen on the track. Another option you can get is a power rear sunshade. I think you should get it. If you get the power rear sunshade with the executive package, you also get manual rear side shades, so on the rear windows. Definitely recommend getting this one. And then something also to think about, the earlier models, as I mentioned before, were a little bit more raw. They had less sophisticated suspension and a spikier torque curve. They just were more twitchy in general, the steering as well. This is all due to coding and programming for like how much torque to send to the wheels and stuff when you're, especially like on hard acceleration. The earlier model years weren't as sophisticated with their tuning in terms of where the power was sent and how the limited slip diff was working as well. All that stuff comes into play when you're trying to make a car like handle as well as possible, and obviously they improved it over time. So the first model years, 2015 specifically, is known to be the most raw version of the car. You're going to have a stiffer suspension, and you're also going to have a spikier torque curve, which means it's really easy to get the car sideways around turns. In the later model years, the power delivery, especially the torque curve itself, was a little bit smoother, so you wouldn't have that sudden oversteer if you got on the gas a little bit during a turn. But people have said that the earlier model years are more fun, but I don't know if they're coping because they're cheaper. Here we go. Let's look at some of the, I got a lot of info here. So this is what I was reading earlier. This is the build model or the option sheet for the 2015. And as you can see, the 2015 and the 2016 are pretty much identical. 2017 is where things change, and that is where the introduction of the competition package is. So you can see right here, it comes with 20-inch forged alloy wheels. So the competition wheels are 666 wheels, which look really cool, but the name is kind of off-putting, but the competition wheels are highly desirable and they're worth a lot of money. You also have BMW individual high gloss shadow line with extended content. So this is basically the trim package on the car. The outside is not chrome or silver. It is black. It is a shadow line trim. You also have the new settings for suspension, DSC, and you have the active M differential. You also, it also comes with black full leather. So for this new car, or for the 2017 model, you can get it for some 2016s. It comes with full leather. So if you get a competition package, it actually includes a lot of options that that would be, well, it includes a lot of standard things that would be options on a regular car. And as you can see, this is the 2018 one. They dropped the light package completely and just included adaptive full LEDs in the executive package. And as you can also see, the executive package gets a lot smaller as a lot of the things from the executive package become standard. So let's take a look at some of the colors that were available for this car. A lot of colors, actually. This car was made to appeal to a lot of people, and to be honest, the F80 M3 is probably one of the most successful M3s in terms of just being that good of a car. The G80 is, you know, people don't really, the design is controversial, although it is a way better car, this F80 M3 just is priced just a lot better in the moment. The G80s are like 70 plus right now. So here are some colors that are available on the first model year. We have Alpine White, Mineral White, Silverstone Metallic, Mineral Gray, Black Sapphire, Yasmarina Blue, Austin Yellow, and Sakir Orange. Yasmarina Blue, Austin Yellow, and Sakir Orange are some of the most popular colors. And obviously Alpine White, Silverstone. Mineral White is also popular too, but people go for the Alpine and Silverstone. And then obviously these other colors are there too, but these are going to be the three most sought after colors, and that's what will lead to a higher price. And you'll see that in a second when we go over the ads. These are the interior material options you had for the first model here. You had the black carbon with cloth leather combination. Carbon is always good. I'm not a fan of the cloth really, but you can't really go wrong with a carbon interior. As I mentioned before, I highly suggest you look for a full leather car. And you know, any of these color combinations are good. Red is obviously going to be more desirable. This red orange, a secure interior car is going to look really cool. These beige, the Sonoma beige also looks really nice as well. But all these colors actually look pretty good. Again, with cars like this, I recommend getting the coolest color combination you can get, because that'll only add to the resale. Looking at the 2017, let's see if they changed any colors. So we can see they added this Tanzanite blue metallic, the Azurite blue metallic, champagne quartz. So these are the individual colors that they added. For 2017, you're able to get individual colors. And these are the interior as well. So you also have individual interior colors, which are cool. Finding one with a BMW individual color will be the most ideal. Those are going to be the ones that are the coolest. I know, shout out to my friend Chris. I believe he has an Azurite black car with this opal white interior, and it looks so good. And it has carbon in it and everything. Yeah, it has the carbon trim. It looks so good. That would be something that I get in an individual car, but however, those are going to be way more expensive. Also, the wheel options. Let's see for the first model year. No, they didn't show the wheels. But second model year. Yep, they showed the wheels for the second model year. These are going to be the pre-competition wheels. So you have these style 513s, and then you have the style 437s. I obviously like the style 437s the most, but style 513s aren't bad. You just don't see them as much. Let's look at the wheels now. Now we have the addition of the style 666, which are the competition wheels. You can see they look really distinctive, and you'll be able to tell exactly what wheel they are just from the second you look at it. Cool. And then we have this is the final, the LCI2. And as you can see, they just made it look a lot more comprehensive in terms of the colors they offered. You can see that they offer way more individual colors now. We have the addition of champagne quartz metallic, smoke topaz, frozen brilliant white, you know, to name a few, as well as the interior upholstery. They also show the stitching as well. These colors are beautiful. They offer all sorts of browns and blacks, as well as the interior trim. Yeah, you can really customize these later model year cars, and they look really nice. So if you want the most luxurious, I suggest getting a 2018 or later. But these earlier cars do offer some sort of customization, just not as much as the later models. As you can see, they offer more colors, more interior options. This one, they don't even really show the trim options. Let's see what it says on the 2015. So the trim options, yeah, they don't really show the trim, which is crazy. All right, cool. Moving on to the problems. There are a good amount of problems. However, this car is, I would have to say, reliable. Comparatively, it is a BMW, so you're gonna have some problems, but it is not the most unreliable BMW. In fact, it is probably one of the more reliable BMWs, especially for M cars. All right, let's see. Cool. So we had the crank hub issue. Everyone talks about it. You're probably already familiar with the crank hub issue. This is more of a problem on the DCT cars because of the kickdown. I guess that puts a lot more stress on the crank hub when you're going from like 7th to 2nd gear or something. And that isn't much of a problem with the manuals because you're really not doing that kickdown 7th to 2nd gear, or 6th to 2nd because it is a 6-speed. So you want to make sure you get the crank hub addressed. If it hasn't been addressed at all, that's a problem. These cars, they're not that new anymore, especially these early model years. So you want to make sure the crank hub has been addressed at some point. You have valve cover issues. This is just leaks. These BMWs always have leaks from every gasket on the engine, so valve cover included. That also includes the oil pan gasket, oil sump gasket underneath, as well as the oil filter housing gasket leaks on top. The oil filter housing is right on top, and where that meets with the engine block, there's a gasket, and that is said to leak too. That's where you attach your oil filter. Turbo inlet seals. So basically, you want to make sure that your turbos are in good shape, no smoke, no sounds. You want to make sure that the wastegates are not making any noises as well. You just want to make sure that the car is building boost properly and is not smoking. You have an exhaust camshaft problem. This leads to a ticking noise when you first start the engine. The one thing you just want to make sure that the car does is as the car warms up, the ticking noise goes away. If the ticking noise continues to tick even when the car is warm, it could be your exhaust camshaft problem, or it could be a timing chain problem. It could be a problem. You just want to make sure that the ticking goes away when the car is warm. You also have O2 sensor issues. This is just going to lead to misfiring. Same with spark plugs and coils. Those can also lead to misfiring. So just see if the car goes in the limp mode after like a hard pull. This could be all three of these. Another thing these cars had, no matter what year, were AC issues. It could be the condenser, the compressor, the lines, or the sensors. You just want to make sure that the AC blows cold and on all speeds, and it changes heat appropriately. Also, the coolant temp sensor. You want to make sure that the coolant temp sensor is good, because if it is bad, it affects the gear changes and will actually make the car run rough. Basically, if the car is too cold, it'll hold gears longer to warm up the car faster. So if the car thinks it's cold, it'll hold the gears longer, thinking that it needs to warm up, even though the car is already warm, and it will just drive really strange. It won't shift smooth at all. And then the ABS sensor. You want to make sure that the ABS sensor works. A quick way to check to make sure it works is to cycle through all the drive modes. Once you cycle through all the drive modes and they all work, obviously all the sensors involved with those systems work as well. If the ABS sensor fails, you won't be able to go into like M mode, because it won't be able to disable the ABS or the DSC. Like all that stuff is all linked together. And so if you can't disable the DSC because you have some issues with the ABS, like the computer doesn't want to disable DSC because the ABS isn't working, or at least it thinks it's not working, then it won't go into those modes. So check to make sure that the car goes into all the engine modes. Cool. So let's look at some of the examples. We're going to be looking at examples all the way from 2015 to 2018, showing you the difference between the LCI and the LCI2 and the pre-LCI. They're all pretty much the same. Some standard equipment options here and there, but those can also change with what packages you get for the car. So let's take a look at the ads and see what we have. Starting off, we have a 2015 on Facebook, 103,000 miles. Nothing really to say about the car. It is just pictures at this point. We can see that it has the wheels that I'm not really a fan of, but they look all right. The tires look really meaty. This is a black car, pre-LCI, as you can see by the straight rear taillights. I'll show you on a later model how the taillight design changes, and then you'll be able to tell. You'll be really easily able to differentiate between the two. The thing is with these cars though, they're so similar, you can actually interchange the lights between models. So you want to make sure that the lights, they match up with the model year, and if not, they have actually been switched. which isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people actually want to do that because they want to get a cheaper car but make it look as new as possible. You just want to make sure that you know what parts are on the car, and if they have switched to lights, try to get those original lights as well, because you can sell those for a little bit of cash. So black car, as you can see, also has the carbon fiber roof. That is also an option to have. You can get this or a sunroof as the carbon fiber roof. Another thing to tell if a car is a competition package car or not are the seats. Competition package car are going to have the competition seats, which have holes in them. So moving on to this car, it's black on black, pretty standard spec with 103,000 miles. It does have the carbon trim though, which is nice. Carbon trim cars are always nice. Nothing really too fancy about this car, and it doesn't really say anything about the packages it has. Can we tell what? Can't really tell what packages the car has. I don't see anything for we do have the adjustable suspension. I believe that's what that is. So we have some options. It is a 2015 car, earlier model year, DCT with 103,000 miles. It has a clean title, and they're asking $27,900, which honestly is close to what I'd pay for it. I'd be around 24 grand for this car. It is a 2015, so first model year, so I'm not going to be paying close to 28, and it does have 103,000 miles. And it doesn't really have that many options. It looks like the interior and exterior colors are pretty standard. 24 grand is where I'm at for this car. Here we have a white car. This one has some cosmetic mods. You can see that the side skirts have been customized and painted. You can see some additions right here. This black, it's either been painted or they stuck on something. Same with the spoiler. As you can see, they also changed some of the colors of the lower front bumper as well. Interior is red. Got a nice orange red interior. That is a desirable thing to have. You can see that it doesn't look like it's full leather. No leather on the dash. What do they have to say? Nothing. Just 2017 M3. Not too much information other than that. It doesn't even say it as a clean title or not. That's also something obviously you want to make sure this car has. 36.7 for this car. It has 96,000 miles. It is a cool spec, white on red. It does have some less than tasteful mods. And it doesn't have full leather. So kind of more of a base spec car. For this, being a 2017, it is, you can't even tell the taillight design, but you can kind of see it's like not flat. It's like kind of curves like this. For this car being the facelifted LCI 1 car, I would be willing to pay for having this many miles and being untastefully modded, I'd say 30 grand. 30 grand for this 2017, simply because I'm not a fan of the way they customize the car. It doesn't look too good to me. Looks kind of ricey in my opinion. Moving on, we have an Austin yellow example. This one is going to be super desirable. The spec, the color alone is just something that a lot of people like. Personally, for me, I would never drive an Austin yellow car. I think they look kind of weird. It reminds me of the one color the PT Cruiser came in when it was released. I actually had a model of that, which is really strange. I got it at like Sam's Club or something. Anyway, Austin yellow car. It's a manual though, so it's gonna fetch a premium. The manuals were not producing as high numbers as DCT, obviously, and because of that, manual cars are gonna be a little bit more desirable. Let's see what he has to say. I waited a long time to find my dream car, and I finally got it almost 2 years back. Unfortunately, a new job, a hefty commute. They don't want to put miles on it. Gold color, paint looks like new. Carbon splitter, spoiler tinted, full inspection. All right, so nothing really about the car, just about how much you got some inspections. Nothing mechanical. They changed. No, none of these cars have mentioned anything about a crank hub. This is a manual one, so you're not going to have that issue, but you just want to see if they even like thought about it. This one's 42 grand, only 45,000 miles. However, it is a 2015 first model year. Because it is a manual and because it is really low miles, this price, you know, isn't far off. I'd be willing to pay like 35, 36 for this car, simply because of the low miles, the color, and the 6-speed manual. Granted, it is a 2015. The I believe the 2018s and newer had some other stuff like a touchscreen infotainment instead of just using the iDrive. The stocks changed, the design of the stocks, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. But the power delivery, it's going to have that spikier torque curve because it is a first model year car. Cool. Nothing too special about the interior. As you can see, does it even have full leather or extended leather? Nope. You can see this bumpy BMW material that's on the dashboard. Full leather only. I only recommend full leather only. We'll see some of those in some of the later models we look at. But for this one, yeah, 36 grand, simply because it is low mile, cool color, manual. Here we have a competition car. As you can see, it has the full leather. We can see that stitch going along the dash, carbon interior. You can see the stitching going along the seats as well as the armrest and as well as the upper doors, as well as the lower dash. Full leather car. See what they have to say. 50K miles, white with black interior, carbon fiber, exhaust, heated seats, clean title. Yeah, nothing really about the spec. But as you can see, it has the competition belts, which have the M stitching, as well as the competition wheels, which have the holes. I believe the later models, don't quote me on this, I'm not too sure, but at some point these lights became illuminated. So I believe that is on the 2016, like, I don't know if all competition seats had illuminated emblems or just after the LCI2. You guys can comment down below and let me know, because I really don't know. But yeah, we can see very clean car. The spec is superb. Full leather with the white stitching, carbon fiber trim. We have the camera system. We have the suspension. We have the park. So this is executive package, obviously. Competition pack with the white. Very nice spec. 2018 car, they want 50 grand for it. This car is 50,000 miles. Because of the spec, because it is one of the last model year M3s for the F80, it's competition, full leather, pretty much fully loaded car. I'd be willing to pay up to 42 for this. 42 grand for a fully loaded last model year M3 competition with 50,000 miles is a pretty good deal in my opinion. 42 grand. And then moving on to our last ad, we have a 2016 with only 26,000 miles. They want 51.5 for it. Let's see what he has to say. Putting out a feeler from an F80. They don't really want to sell it, thus the price. Car is in great condition. Car has been super babied, blah, blah, blah. Maintenance up to date, clean, title and Carfax. Okay, let's see what they have to say in terms of pictures. So it has aftermarket wheels. Let's see what else. See, we see the leather and cloth interior. You can see it's not a full leather interior. You don't see any stitching on the dash. Let's see what he has to say. Carbon fiber lip, cracked carbon fiber side skirts, carbon fiber style spoiler, Vorsteiner diffuser, GTS style hood, Apple CarPlay retrofit, iDrive 6, okay. BRS intake, BRS single mid pipe, BRS catless downpipe, Remus muffler with carbon fiber tips, EMD springs, crank bolt capture plate, BMS stage 1 TE37s, and has all the stock parts. So that's good. So they have all the stock parts, so that's also good. Adds to the value of the car because you can also sell those. However, 2016 model year, this isn't even a final LCI, it's just an LCI 1. It's not a competition package. It has some upgrades which are good. The GTS style hood is a good addition. It also has a bunch of carbon fiber. But for something like this, 26,000 miles for 2016, I'd be around 40, 41 for this car. It is really low miles. The mods are tastefully done. However, it is not a last model year. So 20 or 40, 41 for something like this. Also, not really the biggest fan of this the cloth interior, so that's not really helping its case out. Cool. Let's move on to Auto Trader. Give me 1 second. Yep, cool. Auto Trader. Let's move on to Auto Trader. Our cheapest example is a 2015 example with 90,000 miles and a really interesting M livery. Not a fan of the livery at all, but you know, someone liked it. Obviously, they got it done. This is really strange that they made this black. So besides that, it has the secure orange seats. Not a full leather interior though. As you can see, the dash is made out of plastic material. The trim is carbon fiber, which is nice. Most of the cars are going to have carbon fiber, but this is a 2015 first model year. You have the adaptive suspension as well as the park distance control. You also have the rear sunshades. It does look like it is not, yeah, exactly, not a full leather car. However, it does have, I think this is maybe extended leather because it has this on the doors, but just not on the top of the doors. It has a cool stitching, so it might be extended, but not full. So for 90,000 miles, let's see anything. Executive package and lighting package. Okay, that's good. It has executive package and lighting package, which is good for a 2015. You want the most amount of options you can on the 2015. And with 90,000 miles, they want 31. I'd say for this car, given its ugly livery, I'd pay 25. It has the executive package and lighting package, which is good. And as you can see, it came with the rear shades and all that fancy stuff. It just does not have full leather, which is unfortunate. I believe it has extended leather. So 25 grand for something like this. Moving on, we have a 2016 in this gray color, which looks really cool in my opinion. I like this a lot. With a black interior, it does look like it's lowered a little bit. Not the cleanest example. It looks definitely used. You can see it has the carbon fiber as well as the full leather car. You can see the stitching going along right here, and you can see it going along right here. Yep, very nice full leather interior. Definitely something I'd be interested in. This color combo is actually pretty cool as well. Also, you can see it is the executive package because it has a side window shades. Pretty much a fully loaded non-competition car. Very nice. Very desirable spec right here. 35.9 they're asking for. It has 95,000 miles. Yep, full leather. Silverstone metallic executive package. Adaptive full LEDs. It has the adaptive M suspension. Yeah, pretty much fully loaded non-comp car. Something very desirable in my opinion. I think this car is a great package. Very clean spec. 36 grand though, 96,000 miles. I'd say for this, I'd be around 33, but they're not far off. 33 grand, 32, 33 for something like this. Moving on, we have a Yas Marina Blue. One of the most famous colors for this car, highly desirable. Yas Marina Blue with, it looks like a brown interior or red interior. This could be a secure interior. Not a full leather car, unfortunately. And let's see how the stitching looks on the door panels. It doesn't really show. Yeah, it could be an extended leather, could be a standard car, but it's not a full leather, so that's all that matters. It's a cool color though, but the options aren't there in terms of full leather. Like that full leather really makes a car. Like, yeah, I can have all the other options, but if it doesn't have full leather, like the car just, the quality just goes down like 2 points at least. It does have carbon fiber though. It's missing everything but full leather, but full leather is a big thing for me. 68,000 miles for a 2016 Yas Marina Blue. Yas Marina Blue with this red interior going to command a higher price, obviously, but it's not full leather, so it can't be that expensive. Something like this, I'd say I'd be willing to pay up to 35, 36 for this. 35, 36, simply because it's not full leather. If it was full leather, I'd be willing to pay up to 37 for it. Simply because it is under 70,000 miles. Here we have a secure orange car, the exterior, with a black interior. And as you can see, it is also full leather as well. and it is competition. Competition comes with full leather, especially with these 2018 cars. So it's pretty much fully loaded. It doesn't really show that many pictures. I just wanted to capture this color. They want $58,000 for this. It has only 31,000 miles. It is a 2018. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. Full competition, cool color, probably for pretty loaded spec. I'd be around 46, 47 for this car, simply because it is 2018 and has really low miles. Yep, 46, 47 for something like this. And then finally, we have a 2017 in this individual color. It is champagne quartz metallic. Very cool color. This is an individual M3. One of the very few that we're going to be able to look at, but just I wanted to include this just to show you some of the cool interior color options this has. So it's individual, full leather with this brown leather interior and a manual. It also has a wood trim and not the carbon fiber. Super custom. You know, this car, either you love it or you hate it. You really can't you know, be in between. This color combo, some people might think it's atrocious, some people might think it's such a cool, interesting, unique color they have to have it, but this car is just very special in almost every way. The color, the spec, in terms of interior, the materials, it is a manual as well, and on top of that, it is a 2017 with the updated headlights. So it's a later model 2017, which means it's like a 2018. So you really have one of the newest. Yeah, you can also see the iDrive controller. If you look at, say, a 2016, let's see if I can find the iDrive controller. You can kind of see, it's like, it's hard to see, but there are like big buttons, and they're like, you can see there's like this gap in between the buttons, and they're kind of recessed. On the newest ones, they're flat, if you can tell. The iDrive controller buttons are flat. So this is, on paper, it's a 2018 car, but it is a 2017, so it probably was built in the later part of 2017. Yeah, saddle interior, dash is all leather, car has 2 blemishes, are hard to find. Very unique color. Hard to put a price on it. 65 grand they're asking. I'd say this car is worth about 50 grand. Being this low miles and being a manual and being an individual interior and exterior, 50 grand for this would be a good deal. And then moving on finally to Car Gurus, we have our first example. This is a 2015 white car with 115,000 miles. The interior is black. Let's see what options the car has. You can see the straight line LEDs for the first model year, the pre-LCI cars. This is a full leather car. Interesting. Full leather black interior car. We have any other options that are noticeable? No surround. Has a sunroof, so no carbon roof, but it is full leather. Doesn't have the adaptive suspension, but it does have the park distance control. Oh, it has the cameras. Or I don't know if this means the 360 camera or not, but it has a camera. As you can see, carbon fiber trim. Yep, white on black car with full leather. Has that going for it, but it doesn't have the adaptive M suspension. I'd say for this car, because it has such high miles, 115,000 miles, I'd be about 23 grand for this car. 23 is where I'd be at for something like this. Cool. Moving on, we have another gray car. This is mineral gray with the secure orange interior. Very fire spec in my opinion. Gray on red, gray on orange is always going to be a great spec to have. Let's see what this car has in terms of options. Has Dynon exhaust, also a really good option to have. I know that probably sounds pretty good. These cars actually don't sound that great, if I'm gonna be honest. They sound kind of farty. Hopefully this Dynon exhaust improved it. As you can see, it is executive package, as well as having the carbon fiber roof. It is also full leather. Very nice, full leather with the red stitching. Super desirable. Let's see what else we have. Executive package. Executive package. We got some upgraded brakes as well. Not a bad example. 37 grand they're asking, and it has 97,000 miles. It is a 2016 car, so you have the upgraded tails. As you can see, they're a little bit curvy, so you're gonna pay a little bit more, but it does have almost 100,000 miles, so I'd have to be around 30 to 31 for this car. It does have a really cool spec. It's Dynon and full leather as well as a cool color, but it has 100,000 miles, so I can't go over 31. Here we have a 2017 example in Alpine White, one of the more desirable whites. It's a little bit more glossy than the mineral white, a little bit more brighter. I don't know if it's more, I don't know how to say, it's more like, it is brighter. I would say it's brighter than mineral white. Has more of a creamy look to it. Mineral is more cold, Alpine looks more warm, if I would have to say so myself. It also has like kind of a pearl finish. Anyway, here we see that this car is not full leather. Yep, we can see that it has the regular dash. It does have carbon fiber trim, but as we could see, most of the cars do come with carbon fiber trim. This car doesn't seem to have many options. It does have the rear shades, so it is an executive package car. However, it's not full leather, it is only extended leather. So extended leather, extended leather executive package. Yeah, extended leather executive package. 2017 car, so it is gonna be, let's see what the lights look like. Yep, it has the latest lights. Yeah, so let's see, 42 for 2017 with 50,000 miles. It's not too bad, but the problem is this car doesn't have many options. I'd be around 37, 38 for this car because it is a 2017 with the updated lights. Here we have a 2018 competition car. This is another Le Mans with a secure orange interior. It is a competition, however, so I do believe that it's going to be a full leather car. Wow, they don't really show it. It's hard to see. It almost doesn't look like a full leather car, which is strange because I don't see. There might be a stitching line there. Okay, no, it is a full leather car. So full leather, as expected. Yas Marina blue competition with the secure orange seats and the carbon ceramic brakes. As you can tell, this one is fully spec'd, something that you want to get if you're actually looking to collect these cars. Fully spec'd, 57,000 miles, and they only want 50 grand for this fully spec'd car. I believe that is really close to what this car should be worth. It's a 2018. We priced the last 2018 at 50 grand or 2017 at 50 grand, and that was a fully individual car. This one is not fully individual, however, it is a super desirable spec, and they are asking 50. I'd be around 45 grand for this car, and that would be a really good deal. 45 grand for a 2018 Yas Marina blue secure orange competition car. 45 grand, great deal. And then our final example, we have another individual car. This one, however, is not full leather. Unfortunately, even though it is competition, well, it has competition wheels. Does it have competition seats? It has competition seats. However, it is not full leather, which is interesting. It's an extended leather individual car. It's an extended leather competition car, which is weird because I always thought that the competition came with full leather. Actually, let me check real quick. I just want to see. So this is a 2018. So we have the 2018 ordering guide right here. Oh, so for the 2018, the competition package only made the full leather, or full leather was only standard for the F82, not for the F80. Interesting. Oh no, it's available via special request. Okay, so yeah, you don't have a for the 2018, even though you get a comp car, it doesn't necessarily come with full leather. So that's what we have here. Right here, I meant. We have a extended leather competition with an individual exterior color. What exterior color is this? Let's see if we can find it. It's a 2018. No, they don't really. It's truly a custom color, not even on the individual color list. It also has carbon fiber interior. Yeah, it's definitely extended leather. You have some stitching like right here, but you are missing the fully leather dash, which is unfortunate. You can see this almost elephant skin looking material on the top of the doors as well. You don't see the stitching going here. So not full leather. However, the color, the spec, in terms of being competition, as well as yeah, I mean the color and the competition kind of give it its only value. It's not going to be the most luxurious example. They want 62 grand. It has 35,000 miles. I'd say for this one, it is a 2018. The other one I priced at 50 grand. This one I'd say, because it's not full leather, it would have to be 47 to 48 grand is what I pay for something like this. Because of the color. But yeah, 47 is really where I'm at. Cool. Cool. That wraps up the ad portion of this. To sum it up, look for a 2016 plus. I recommend, just to get take advantage of some of the more standard options. If you want to get a 2017 or 18, you can get a 2018. I suggest if you get a 2018, you take advantage of the cool interior colors that were available. The earlier cars, obviously, you want to get the coolest exterior color possible. Alpine white is a good white to get. Also, Silverstone is good gray. And then also Yas Marina, Austin yellow, and the Secure orange red color are great colors as well. You want to make sure that you get a full leather car. Full leather and extended leather cars are going to be so completely different. They're night and day on the inside. Full leather cars. I remember my M6 was full leather, and that was a pre-LCI full leather car. And I was looking at LCI M6s, and all the ones I looked at were extended leather, and they just felt so cheap compared to the full leather. Like the stitching on the dash, just the feel of everything, the smell. You just have to get a full leather car. You can also decide whether you want DCT or manual. Personally, for me, I'm tired of driving manual cars. I like the DCT on this car. It's really clean, really fast, really smooth DCT. So I suggest getting a DCT. You're also going to save some money. But if you want a manual and you're a purist like that, of course, get a manual. They're just going to be more expensive. And in my opinion, BMW manuals aren't even that great. The throw is really long. The clutch action is strange. The feel is a little bit rubbery. So that's up to you. The wheels, you can either get, the competition wheels come with the competition cars. Some non-competition cars are going to have comp wheels simply because they are an upgrade to sell the car. You want to make sure that the wheels are what you want. What else? Yeah, the headlights, they changed in 2017, 2018-ish. It's like you can get a later model year 2017 car with updated headlights, but if you really want the true updated ones, get a 2018. The taillights get updated in 2016. That's why I suggest getting a 2016, because you're going to be getting just an improved version of the car. I always recommend never getting the first model year, which is going to be the 2015. However, if you get a 2015, the price differences are big. You're going to get a huge discount getting a 2015. And also you're going to be getting the more raw car if you want that or not. That's up to you. Also, the options became a lot more plentiful as the years went on, so the 2015 cars aren't going to be as spec'd. So the sweet spot of that is going to be 2016. Cool. That wraps it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Been a good week of car buyers guides. Next week is going to be the holidays. Obviously, I'm not going to do a Monday show. I'm not sure when I'm going to be returning back to town during the week. So hopefully I'll be back before Thursday. I can get you a Thursday and Friday show for that week. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are probably not going to be scheduled because I'm going to be out of town. So let me know what cars you want to see next. As I mentioned before, join the Discord so you can stay up to date on these car buyers guides, and so you can get a one-on-one connection to talk to me about any car issues that you have, any problems with your shopping experience, anything you want to get clarified, I got you. Also, don't forget to follow me on socials Everything is in the description. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you next week. Not sure if it's going to be Thursday or Friday. Something will be released next week, but I hope you guys have a happy holidays. And most importantly, take it easy and be safe. I will see you guys later next year.